Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. We'll get started here in just a minute. We'll go over the market, talk about today's plays and a few non-plays, calls that didn't trigger, talk about what to expect going into tomorrow and really through the end of the year. Just a quick reminder, tomorrow will be an abbreviated day before the holiday on Friday. So tomorrow will be market close will be at 1 o'clock. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for December 23rd, 2020. Coming into today, bullish. We are starting to get a pretty decent sell-off here into the Qs, interestingly enough. It's not really going to change too much going into tomorrow, just because the daily and the weekly are still going to be pretty bullish here. Okay, here's the daily, still in an uptrend, pretty clear here. SPY as well, and we've been bullish here now for a couple months. Really, we put in this sideways trend. I said the more that we base at it, the more bullish we were looking. We did get that gap up. And then held at support and then have been grinding higher ever since. So there might have been some news that just came out here right into the end of the day. I don't think it's going to change much. We see this from time to time. These little kind of shakeouts really is kind of all they end up doing, is kind of shaking some people out. Market is still bullish. Now, if we do see some kind of trend change going into the end of the year, or let's say beginning of the year next year, we'll see it first on the hourly before it shows up on the daily, unless it's some kind of large gap that we get, some kind of catastrophe kind of thing. But barring that, we'll see the downtrend first on the hourly before we start to see the daily go into a downtrend. So we'll keep an eye out for that. So here you can see is the low that we set after the gap down. If we get underneath that, then we'll start to get this downtrend on the hourly. So, we're quite a ways away still from doing that. Anything could happen tomorrow, but I think it's pretty unlikely. So going into tomorrow, still going to be bullish. All right, let's go over today's plays. Today, starting off, was trying to get an entry into this SRNE and didn't quite get what I was looking for initially. Okay, and I would say even throughout the day, it never really gave me an entry that I especially liked. So the very first play that I wanted to do on this SRNE was get us to do kind of like this high of the day base breakout. See how it's basing up here at the top? I'll go ahead and remove that. I just highlighted this bar because I definitely wanted full clearance of that bar. Just because the gap was good, but it wasn't my number one gap. It's actually number two. And so I just wanted a little bit more proof from this that this was really bullish today. And instead of giving me the breakout over the top, came in first. So that play, which was going to use this as the stop, was canceled. Now, there was another play that came up right here. Okay. And again, still have a little bit of the same skepticism that I did on the SRD in the morning. So I wanted to see a secondary entry. And as we all know, the downside for secondary entry, which is you let it trigger and wait till there's a reaction, then play after the reaction. There was no reaction, just triggered and took off. So the buy setup there worked really, really well. Just home run if you took it on the SRNE. I didn't take it. I was also looking to see if we could get some consolidation at some point. Even the 1 minute to start to kind of put in some equal highs and equal lows, and you can see it just took off. Okay, so didn't get a chance at it in the morning at all. Okay, so you can see here pretty bullish. But what was nice about this is that into the afternoon here, we finally started to get some kind of equal highs, equal lows. You see this? Okay, so I only gave you numbers on one thing in the afternoon, and that was the breakout over the top here on the SRNE. And so something that I've been stressing with the room is that, of course, I'll do my best to manage the play for you, but I've been asking the room to figure out the targets on your own. Okay, what do you think should be the targets? Because I thought the targets should be something like 870. Okay, into like the open of this bar. Okay, someone else said, well, I think it should be 889. Is it okay? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me too. I like it a lot. Look at this high here. 888, high of the day. Isn't that great? So, that's why, I want you to, especially in the room, I've made a point of this, just practice at it. I don't claim to be anywhere near the best at picking targets. So I take multiple targets because I know that a lot of times things keep on going. Sometimes I'm looking for bigger targets. It doesn't get there, comes back in. All of that's going to happen. So that's really great to see. Okay, that tells me that somebody is looking for that independence, self-sufficiency that we should all be looking for, right? Or always working on. So that was really, really nice to see. The stop was nice and tight up here, just where the 5-minute 20 MA was, saying you can just use that as the stop underneath 820. So nice play, nice run up there on the SRNE. And then the other thing that I was looking to do, ENG, gave you an idea on this breakout. Decided to let this one go. Wasn't convinced necessarily that the daily was going to take off. Here was the consolidation. Here you can see this is pretty similar to the Tiger that we went over yesterday. Just opening range breakout there on a pro gap up. Okay, I didn't really like what was here to the left. Wasn't sure how much this was going to go. Had a nice move in it. And then the other thing that was called today was the YCBD. Was looking for us to get this base to break out here, then trigger, came in instead, so it was canceled. Okay, so I was looking for that base breakout. Basis for the play, why I was looking for it to be bullish, is because look at this nice kind of daily that's trying to transition higher, weeklies and monthly. Monthly, here's the big buy setup here, and that's what we call a gap bully. Gap down, and then got bought and broke through resistance. So these will typically close at the high. If it's a berry, they'll typically close at the low. That's something that gapped up and then got sold and broke support. So if that's the case and it would close at the high, I want to find a way into it and then probably and try to stick with it until the end of the day because I know it's probably going to close somewhere up at the highs. This just never triggered the base that we're looking to play, and then I guess it kind of just hung out here where I was setting up the base anyway. So no play. Okay. So I think it's been a bit surprising, but nothing that we don't prepare for. That the last few days have actually been pretty busy. We'll see if things change next week because we're really still in the same time period where holidays and things like that. So we'll see how tomorrow is. If it's anything like the last couple days, there should still be plenty to do. But if there's not a lot of setups, at least we don't have to stick around all day because the market's going to close early anyway. Okay? All right. That's going to do it for today's market wrap. Hope you did well. We'll be back at it tomorrow to close out the week. Have a good evening.